Do you work?
I used to be a postman, but now I care for my wife.
Is she disabled?
Yes. She had a stroke last year and now she is in a wheelchair.
I'm sorry to hear that. Can she walk at all?
She can walk around the house but not in the street. I have to push her everywhere.
It must be very hard work for you.
It's tough at times, but she needs somebody to do it. She has carers come in first thing in the morning and again at night to help her get dressed, but she needs somebody there during the day too.
She's very lucky to have you.
The church looks very pretty. Who is getting married?
Karen Roberts is getting married to Steve.
Here she is now. Doesn't she look beautiful in her dress?
Yes. It reminds me of my niece's dress. She got married last year.
And look at the bridesmaids. Don't they look cute in their blue dresses?
Yes. And the flower girl too. She's pretty.
At least they have good weather.
Yes. It's lovely and sunny. They forecast to rain, so I hope that doesn't come before the photographs.
Yes, it would be a shame if the photos were ruined by the weather.
This is my sister, Natalie. She's visiting from Rome. And this is her husband, Alessandro.
Hello, Natalie. Hello, Alessandro. It's nice to meet you.
Hi. You too. I've heard all about you.
I hope it's all good.
Oh, yes. Pam says that you're a great neighbor and a fantastic baker. Alessandro and I are hoping to try one of your famous Victoria sponges while we're here.
Well, you're in luck. I made one this morning. If you'd like to try a slice, I'll go next door and get it.
Oh, yes, please.
Right, well, I'll put the kettle on then and we can all have tea and cake.
Great idea. And maybe later in the week, Alessandro will make his tiramisu for Sam to try.
Hello, sir. What appears to be a problem?
My car is making a strange noise when I drive it.
I see. What kind of noise?
It's a knocking noise. Listen.
When did it start?
Yesterday on my way home from work.
Okay, let me have a look underneath the car and I'll see if I can find what the problem is. Yes, I see what's happened. The exhaust has come loose. I can fix that in no time.
Well, it is expensive.
No, it's a simple job and won't take too long. If you take a seat in the waiting room, I'll get in with it.
How long will it take?
No more than half an hour. Where are you going?
I'm going to night school.
What are you studying?
French. I plan to go there next year and want to be able to speak the language.
That's great. How long have you been learning it?
This is my 5th week.
How long is the course?
It's a 26-week course, and if I pass the exam at the end of it, I'll get a qualification. Then I can do level 2 next year if I want to.
Didn't you learn French at school?
I did, but I've forgotten most of it as I haven't used it for so long.
Grandma, what was it like when you were a child?
Things were very different. We didn't have many toys.
Why not?
We couldn't afford them. We didn't have much money.
What toys did you have?
I had a baby doll, and for my 10th birthday, I was given a bike.
Did you have a TV?
No. Only very rich people had TVs then, and mobile phones didn't exist.
So how did you talk to your friends?
We had to go and see them. Sometimes we played in the park, and sometimes we played in the street.
Wasn't it dangerous to play in the street?
No, there were very few cars at that time.
What's the most exciting thing you've ever done?
2 years ago I went swimming with dolphins while I was on holiday in Mexico.
That does sound exciting. How did it make you feel?
It was a great feeling. I was swimming right up to them and I was able to touch them.
Wow. I wish I could do that.
You can. Have you thought about booking a holiday in Mexico?
I can't. I'm scared of flying. I find it terrifying.
Maybe there are places closer to home where you can swim with dolphins.
There isn't. I've looked before and it's not possible without flying.
Oh well, I'm sure there are lots of other exciting things that you want to do.
You're right. I think I'll sign up for motorbike racing.
Where do you usually go with your friends?
We like going to restaurants for dinner, or sometimes we go to the cinema.
What sort of films do you normally watch?
I like watching romantic comedies. They make me feel good. Some of my friends prefer horror films, but I find them too scary.
What sort of restaurants do you like?
We like trying all sorts of restaurants. We've been to Indian, Chinese and Italian restaurants recently. Last month we went to a Japanese sushi bar. It was interesting to try something new.
Where will you be going next month?
I'm still waiting to find out. Girls choosing where we go next.
Is there anything you don't normally eat during the winter?
I don't usually eat solid during. I only eat it during the summer.
So what do you normally eat?
During the winter I like to eat hot food, so I usually have casseroles and stews.
Do you make them yourself?
Yes. I like to go shopping at the market for fresh ingredients. Then I go home and listen to music while preparing them.
Is it usually busy at the market?
Yes. I usually go on a Saturday morning. It's busy, but that's when you normally get the best quality products.
This cabinet is poorly made. It's falling apart.
Are you sure you put it together properly?
Yes, I followed the instructions to the letter.
Well, what's wrong with it?
The legs are wobbly. They look like they're going to fall off. Look.
The screws are loose. You haven't tightened them up properly.
I did, but they've come loose. There must be a problem with it.
Let me see. Oh, you've put the wrong screws in. Look, they're too small. That's why they're loose.
Oh, yes, I can see that now. Can you pass me my screwdriver, please, and I'll fix them?
Do you like your mother's cooking?
Yes, she's a great cook.
What's her best dish?
Sunday roast with all the trimmings.
What does she do with it?
She does fluffy roast potatoes, rich gravy, roasted carrots and parsnips, and Yorkshire puddings. I'll invite you round one day so you can try it.
That'll be lovely. Does she do dessert?
She cooks an apple pie with fresh apples picked from the tree in our garden and serves it with homemade custard. It's delicious.
My mouth's watering just thinking about it. I can't wait.
Where are you going on holiday this year?
I'm not sure yet. I would like to go somewhere I haven't been to already, but my wife wants to go to Sicily again.
Have you been to South America before? I went to South America last year and it was lovely.
I have been to South America before, but it was a long time ago. I went on a trip to Peru when I was at school. Did you go to Peru last year?
No, I haven't been to Peru yet, but I'm going back to South America this year hopefully. Last year I only went to Brazil. I wanted to see the carnival in Rio.
Are you working on anything at the moment?
Yes, I've just moved house, so I'm redecorating my new home.
When did you move house?
6 weeks ago now, so I've already painted most of the walls, but I haven't put up any of our shelves yet.
Have you put up shelves before?
Yes, I put up the shelves in our last house. It wasn't very hard, so I'll probably put them up over the weekend. Are you doing anything this weekend?
I don't have any plans yet, but if it doesn't rain, I might cut the grass in the garden.
Why don't we have flying cars yet?
I don't know. I suppose scientists don't have the technology yet.
But we already have planes and other flying machines. Why not cars too?
A flying car with wings, though, would be a plane. A flying car with propellers would be a helicopter.
There's a man in France who has already made a jetpack. I think a jetpack could be used to develop a flying car.
Maybe, but I don't see the point in flying cars when we have planes.
I would like a flying car to avoid the traffic in the morning.
Are you smarter than your parents?
It's difficult to know. They are older and wiser, but my parents didn't go to university and I did.
Does that make you smarter than your parents, though?
No, my parents are older than me. In the past, fewer people went to university.
Were you the first person in your family to go to university then?
No, my uncle went to Oxford. He's much smarter than me and now he's a teacher in a school. But my parents are richer.
How is that possible?
Because my father left school earlier and got an apprenticeship with an accountant. He has been there ever since and now he is in charge of the firm. So perhaps my parents are smarter than me, even if they didn't go to university.
Would you rather be rich and ugly or poor and beautiful?
I think I'd rather be rich, because money doesn't fade away, but even if I was beautiful now, I might not still be beautiful when I'm old.
But people prefer beautiful people. Scientists say that people are nicer to beautiful people and that they get better opportunities.
Perhaps, but if I was rich, I wouldn't need better opportunities.
I still think I would rather be poor and beautiful. What if nobody will marry you because you're ugly and all your friends just lie because they want your money? You could get richer but also lonelier.
But there are lots of rich people with friends and they are also happier because they don't have to worry about anything. I would definitely rather be rich.
Are some people luckier than others?
No. Some people have richer parents or more successful friends who can help them to succeed. Their life is better because they are rich and well connected, not because they are lucky.
Does that not make them lucky though? If one man is born with richer parents and more successful friends that give him a happier life, does that not make him luckier than a man born with poorer parents and unsuccessful friends who give him a sadder life? Neither of the men deserves to be richer or poorer, it's just luck.
But if they both gambled, The richer man isn't more likely to win because he is rich, they have an equal chance because they have equal luck. Being richer or more successful is not the same as being lucky.
How long have you been alive?
I was born on the 9th of March 1982, so I have been alive for 37 years.
How did you celebrate your birthday this year?
I didn't do anything. I don't like my birthday very much, so I haven't celebrated my birthday for about 20 years since I became an adult.
Did you not even have a birthday cake?
I did have the birthday cake. My mother made me one for my birthday, but it didn't have any candles, and we didn't sing the happy birthday song.
You look tired. How long did you sleep for last night?
I didn't sleep for very long at all. It was too hot overnight, and I couldn't get to sleep until 2 o'clock in the morning.
What time did you wake up, though?
I woke up again after just 3 hours, and I have been awake since then.
You've been awake since 5 o'clock.
Yes, I'm very, very tired. As soon as I get home, I'm going to sleep for hours.
Be careful, though. If you sleep for too long now, you won't be able to get to sleep tonight.
How long do you want to live for?
I have always tried to live a healthy life so I can live until I'm old.
What do you do?
I exercise for 1 hour every day, and I haven't eaten any meat for nearly 10 years now. I haven't had any alcohol since I got married either, and I always check how much I eat.
I couldn't do all of that. I prefer to enjoy myself and live for the moment. I'll die when I die.
I like to know that I am looking after my body. 10 years ago I became very ill, so since then I have always made sure that I'm living healthily to live for as long as I can, and I enjoy it. I feel healthier and happier.
What is one thing you should never leave until the last minute?
Arranging a holiday is always something that should be done well in advance. Flights are cheaper, booking the right days off work is easier, and it gives you time for choosing somewhere you really like.
Last-minute booking can sometimes be cheaper though, and it's nice sometimes not to choose. It's more adventurous.
But even so, trying to do things as early as possible is for the best. Even just a few weeks before can give you time for proper planning and packing. The last thing you want to do is turn up on holiday unprepared and with no idea what you'll be doing for the next week.
What do you miss most about your childhood?
Mostly I think I miss all that freedom. Not worrying about anything, just playing with friends, laughing and joking and making up games.
What was your favorite thing to do with your friends?
We used to love climbing trees and seeing how high we could get and sitting on the branches and talking to each other high up where our parents couldn't hear us.
What would you talk about?
Anything. We didn't have any real secrets. We were too young. We just enjoyed the talking and feeling like no one could hear us in our secret tree and only worried about having fun. What type of people don't you like?
I don't like people who are rude or people who have bad manners.
Neither do I. That's why I don't like my colleague June. She always asks for favors, but never says please or thank you.
You should always say please when you ask for something and thank you when someone does something for you.
I agree. That's what I taught my children. Manners are so important.
Yes. And it takes no effort to say please and thank you. It's just polite.
What do you find hard to remember?
I find it hard to remember to put the battery back in my smoke alarm before I go to bed. I take it out when Sheila is cooking because the smoke sets it off, but I often forget to put it back.
That's dangerous. You should always have the battery in your smoke alarm at night.
I know. I need to get into the habit of doing it.
Why don't you set an alarm on your phone to remind you?
That's a good idea. I'll try that tonight. I just hope it doesn't wake the children.
You could set it to vibrate. Then it will remind you without disturbing the children.
How often do you visit your family?
I visit my mum every Sunday. She cooks dinner and I take dessert and a bottle of wine for us to share. But I only see my brother a couple of times a year because he lives so far away.
Where does he live?
He lives in Scotland and he works on an oil rig, so he's rarely at home. He always comes down to see us at Christmas, and every spring I go to Scotland for a week to see him and his wife.
Does your mum go with you to Scotland?
No, she's too frail to travel, so she only sees my brother at Christmas.
How often do you lift weights?
3 times a week. I go to the gym after work every Monday, Wednesday and Friday.
I never go to the gym, but I do lift heavy boxes onto a lorry at work every day.
I like to go for a run in the park on Saturday mornings, and if I have time I go cycling in the countryside on Sunday afternoons. But I don't do exercise during the week because I'm tired of working.
I work in an office, so I sit down most of the day. That's why I go to the gym 3 times a week, and on Tuesday and Thursday, I go swimming.
What do you do at the weekend?
I relax and watch sport on TV.
Is watching a film on TV as good as watching it at the cinema?
No. It's much better to see it at the cinema. The sound and the effects aren't as good if you watch it at home.
Don't you have surround system at home?
My surround system is one of the best you can buy, but it doesn't compare with the cinema. And at home, I often get distracted if the phone rings or there's a knock at the door. At the cinema I know I won't get disturbed.
I find people at the cinema distracting as they rustle their sweets packets and get in the way of the screen when they go to the toilet.
That's true. But I still prefer to go to the cinema.
Is Italian food as good as Mexican food?
I like both Italian and Mexican foods. What do you prefer?
I prefer Mexican because I like spicy food. But when I visited Venice, I found the Italian pizzas much tastier than the ones we can buy here.
I prefer pizza in Italy too. They use fresher ingredients. But I've never been to Mexico, so I've never tried authentic Mexican cooking.
So do you prefer Italian or Mexican packet meals from the supermarket?
Mexican. The Italian packet meals are very bland and don't taste as much. If I cook Italian food, I always buy fresh ingredients and cook it myself.
Have you ever cooked Mexican food?
No. Maybe I'll try this tomorrow.
When will you graduate?
Next year. I'll finish my course in May, but the graduation ceremony won't be until September.
Will you wear the gown and hat?
I'll have to. I'm not looking forward to it. I hate wearing formal clothes, but I'll have to as everybody else will be.
Your parents will want a photograph too, won't they?
Yes. They'll want to put it on the living room wall, and my grandma will want one as well. I'll wear it for the photographs, but take it off as soon as I can.
I'll want to see the photo too, just for a laugh. Do you think homes will be more environmentally friendly in the future?
Yes. I think there will be many more solar panels, and we'll find new energy sources too.
Do you think we'll be able to use wind and water to produce electricity?
I expect we will, but I'm not sure we'll be able to make enough to meet the demand.
That's true. There are a lot of people in this country, and we need a lot of energy.
Maybe scientists will come up with a new way of producing energy that will allow us to make enough to meet the demand without it being too expensive. I hope so. Energy bills are very high, so I'd like to pay less.
Do you think humans will ever live on other planets? No. I don't think we will be able to. Why not? Because there's no atmosphere on other planets. Do you think people will live on space stations permanently? No. I think it will cost too much for people to live there all the time. At the moment, people live on space stations to do research. That's very expensive, and it can be dangerous too. That's true. Takeoff and landing are very risky, and you need to do a lot of training to be an astronaut.
Are you close to your siblings?
I'm very close to my sister, but I rarely see my brother anymore.
Why don't you see your brother?
We had an argument many years ago and we've hardly spoken since. He moved away shortly afterwards, and since then I have only seen him at weddings and funerals.
Have you tried talking to him?
I sent him a letter once, but he didn't reply.
What did it say?
That I'd like to see him again and try to make up. It's not a nice feeling, and I'd like to go back to how we used to be. When we were children, we were very close.
Does your sister speak to him?
Yes. They get on well.
Could she arrange for the two of you to meet?
Maybe. I'll ask her.
How long do you plan on working?
Around 30 years. I want to retire before I'm 55.
That's quite early. How will you pay for your retirement?
I have a savings account and I pay into a pension. I plan to live simply and save as much money as I can.
I don't have any savings. I expect I'll work until I die.
Then you need to start saving.
I'm not sure I can afford to.
You just need a budget. Write down all the money you earn and how much your bills cost. Put the rest into a savings account and you'll soon see it start to grow.
How long have you had your current hairstyle?
I've only had it this length for the past 2 months. Before that, I had long hair.
How long was it?
It went all the way down my back. Look, here's a photo.
Oh, you had beautiful long hair. I'd love hair like that, but my hair gets very knotty if I grow it.
Mine did too. That was why I cut it short. It was taking me too long to get ready for work in the mornings.
I bet it takes a lot less time now.
Oh yes. It used to take me half an hour to brush my hair properly, but now I just comb it and it takes less than a minute. Is it better to study English in class or online?
I studied online. It was the most convenient way for me because I do shift work and I could log on in my own time to study.
I studied in a classroom. It was good to study along with other people, and we were able to help each other with difficulties, but I found it took a long time to complete the course.
Why was that?
We only had one lesson each week. It was on a Tuesday night, and often I had finished all the exercises our tutor had set us by Thursday evening, but I had to wait until the following Tuesday before I could move on.
Which game is more entertaining, Tetris or Angry Birds?
That's easy. Tetris is boring, so Angry Birds is the best out of those two.
Why is Tetris boring?
It's so slow and it's just brick falling.
Don't you find it interesting trying to get them to off it?
No, it's boring.
What about when the wall starts to get higher? Don't you get tense and start to panic?
No, I still find it boring.
Are you any good at Tetris?
No, I'm terrible at it.
Is that the real reason that you don't like it?
No, I'm terrible at it because I rarely play it, and I rarely play it because it's boring.
Which is harder, maths or English?
I suppose it depends on who you are. I find English quite easy, but even basic maths can be a real struggle for me. On the other hand, my cousin James is very good at maths, but finds spelling and grammar difficult.
Maybe it just depends on how your brain works.
I think it does. Some people just find one easier than the other. But there are some people who just seem to excel at everything and are good at both.
Yes, my friend Luke is like that. He got straight A's in his exams and is doing really well at university now.
Have you ever quit anything?
I quit smoking last year.
How hard was it?
It was hard to begin with, but it got easier as time went on.
What method of quitting did you use?
I started by using chewing gum, but that didn't work, so I used the patches.
Do you still use them now?
No, I gradually reduced the length of time I wore a patch until I no longer needed one at all.
How long did it take to give up altogether?
Overall, it took me 8 months to quit. Now I hate the smell of smoke.
What's it like being a vegetarian? Is it hard to eat a balanced diet?
It might have been difficult in the past, but these days there are lots of options, so it's not hard being a vegetarian.
Do you ever eat meat substitutes?
Sometimes, but I prefer to just eat fruit and veg. There are lots of things I can put with them, such as cheese or nuts, to make different tastes.
What's your favorite vegetarian dish?
I like vegetable bake. My mother used to make it when I was a child, so it has happy memories for me, and it tastes great too.
Have you made any big decisions recently?
Yes. I bought a new car. I tried lots of different models before deciding on the one that I wanted.
What type of car did you buy?
I bought a 4x4. It was the best option for me.
I thought you wanted to buy a sports car.
I would like one, but it wasn't practical. I often take the children out in it, and sometimes I even take the dog in the car.
Good point. Maybe you'll be able to buy a sports car when the children have grown up.
Yes. When I retire, I should get a lump sum of money, and then I'll buy the car I've always dreamed of.
ever go abroad?
No, I don't have a passport.
I love holidaying in England. I like city breaks, trips to the countryside, and going to the seaside.
You can do all of those things in other countries too.
I know, but I'm happy doing them here. I like to read books about other countries or watch documentaries on TV, but I don't feel the need to visit them.
I like going on holiday in England, but I also like going abroad. I usually have 2 holidays each year, one in England and one on the continent.
I also have 2 holidays, but I have one inland and one by the coast.
Will you have children?
I think so, but I've got lots that I want to do before I settle down.
What do you want to do?
First of all, I want to travel and see the world. Then I need to get a good job and save some money to buy a house. I don't want to have children until I can afford to.
You'll need to find a wife too.
Well, yes, but that shouldn't be too difficult for me. I'm good looking and I have a great personality.
And, of course, a massive ego. Will computers ever take over the world?
No. You'll always need people to build them and fix them.
What if somebody made a computer so intelligent it managed to rid the world of humans?
But it would still go wrong at some point. Every computer eventually goes wrong. Who would fix it if there were no humans?
If it were clever enough, it would have invented the machine that could fix it.
If it were really clever, it wouldn't make itself reliant on another machine. That would give the other machine power over it.
True. But wouldn't humans have power over it if we invented it?
Exactly. That's why computers will never rule the world.
How will you change the world?
I'm not sure that I will.
Wouldn't you like to be remembered for something?
I'd like to be remembered for being kind and helping people.
Wouldn't you like the whole world to remember you? I'd love to be a famous scientist.
No, I'm happy not being famous. I want my friends and family to have fond memories of me, but I don't need to be well known throughout the world.
I'd love to invent something that changes the world by saving lives. That would make me happy.
Well, if you invent it, I'll make sure my family and friends get the benefit of it.
Would you rather marry a rich celebrity or a rich CEO? A rich celebrity. I'd love to go to all the trendy parties and premieres. Wouldn't you be worried that your whole life would be in the spotlight? It wouldn't bother me. I don't care what people think of me. I'd hate it. There would be photographers following you everywhere that you went. At least I'd be famous. I might even get paid millions for a photo shoot in a glossy magazine. But what would you be famous for? It doesn't matter. I just want to be famous. I'd actually be a celebrity and I'd go on every TV show I was asked to.
Did you apologize to Anthony?
I tried, but, to be honest, I think he was glad to see the back of me.
Oh, what happened?
He was still annoyed with me. I think just seeing me added insult to injury.
So what are you going to do now?
I'll just have to avoid seeing him for a week or two to give him time to cool off. Hopefully, next time I see him he will have forgiven me.
You really hurt him. It might not be enough to just say sorry this time. You might need to show him you're sorry.
You're probably right. Actions speak louder than words.
Exactly. Do something for him. Something that shows you are truly sorry, and hopefully within a week or two it will all be water under the bridge.
There is a girl I like and I keep trying to catch her eye, but she never seems to notice me.
Are you close?
Not really. That is the problem. No, she doesn't know me from Adam. We've only met a few times, but I really like her. I've already planned everything we would do together.
Don't count your chickens before the eggs have hatched. First of all, you have to get to know her a bit. Who is it?
It's Rachel, your friend. Look, here she comes now.
Speak of the devil.
Hi.
Hi, Rachel. How are you?
Good, thank you. You?
Fine, thanks. Have you met my friend John?
Not properly. Hi, I'm Rachel.
I'm John.
I'll leave you two to it.
Are you coming to the pub later?
I'd like to, but I can't.
Why not?
I'm broke. I haven't got a penny to my name after this week.
What happened this week?
My car completely packed in, so I had to get it fixed.
Oh no, did it cost much to fix?
It cost me an arm and the leg, so things are a bit too tight for nights out at the moment.
Well, you don't have to worry about that. Nick is paying for everything.
Why?
As a reward, to say thank you for all of our hard work.
I don't know. I think I would feel bad letting Nick pay for everything.
Don't worry about it. He is minted. He can more than afford it.
Go on then. What are some things you might buy if you ever won the lottery?
Oh, I don't know. How much did I win? Could I buy a house with it?
You could buy 20 houses. Let's say you win £20 million. What might you buy?
I think the first thing I would do is buy myself a nice big house in the countryside. Then I would put half of it into the bank and save it so I could quit my job and retire. Then with whatever was left I would help as many of my family and friends as I could. What might you buy with £20 million?
I would get houses in as many countries as I could afford and then spend the rest of my life traveling from place to place like one long holiday.
Do you think you could run a big company?
It depends on how big it is, I suppose. I think I could run a company that is quite big, but I might not have the time or energy to run a massive, international one. I think I would be too tired.
You would not have to do everything yourself though. You could hire as many people as you like to help you do all the work, so you might only have to make the really important decisions whilst the day-to-day stuff is done by other people.
I suppose if I could do that I might not get too tired. Maybe. Do you think you could run a big international company?
Definitely, and I think I could run it better than lots of the people that do at the moment.